Are you a fan of horror movies?
Necronomicon Ex Mortis, the Book of the Dead.
What about cult classics?
Your move, creep.
If you are, you'll love Shocking Things. Please search for us on all the major podcasting platforms. To see our social media and a direct link to our podcast, just go to anchor.fm/shockingthings.
The Pro Wrestling Vault. 35 short stories including Harley Race, Ricky Morton, Tracy Smothers, and Tim Storm. Along with 300 photos from the independent scene, taken from Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Get your book today by going to WrestleVille.com or LanceByChance.com. WrestleVille. It's where wrestling lives.
Welcome, everybody, to the PWZ podcast. This is Rick Del Santo. Joining me, as always, on this glorious Monday morning is Showtime Marcel Williams. How the hell are you, my man?
What is going on? We are here on the right day. And we made it. You're going to see more of us. This is the PWZ podcast. We are here to talk about all the week in the review of wrestling, even the recent, which is Rampage. We're gonna rewind back to WrestleMania and Ring of Honor before that, Supercard of Honor. But we are glad to be here today. And don't forget to share us out there. We got 2,000 subscribers. We're trying to get more than 2,000 and accumulate. Maybe reach 100K. Can we at least do that? So
I mean, we're getting, that's definitely in the future, I hope.
Yeah.
You know what? We're at 2,500 roughly. I think what's going to happen is once we hit 3,000, I'm going to hold a contest. Okay. So if you got to like, share, and subscribe, I got some really cool stuff to give away. Okay.
There we
Stuff
go.
that you, the fans, are going to really enjoy. You like tag team wrestling? I got something. You got turnbuckles? Those turnbuckle collectors out there, I got something for you. So, hit that like, hit that subscribe, share us out everywhere. And I mean everywhere. And I'm talking our YouTube channel. Sorry, guys, the alarm's going off over here. So we didn't get a chance. Last weekend, we worked 4 days in a row last week.
We put in some work.
Yeah, we did, covering the world of professional wrestling. We did live broadcast Saturday and Sunday, covering the world of WrestleMania. However, we didn't get to cover a lot of the events that actually did happen that weekend that weren't WrestleMania. There was the NXT geez, I almost confused the two. NXT Stand and Deliver. There was Ring of Honor Super Card of Honor. And there's a whole world of professional wrestling outside of WrestleMania that, I want to get into. We're not going to dive too deep because there was so many freaking shows in Dallas that weekend. But there's a couple things I do want to mention. And obviously, we're going to get into AEW and stuff from this past week. First off, before we do that, I want to make sure that anybody that hasn't seen it yet, Paradise Alley's Alley Fights from this past Saturday, go check it out. The new episode is up on our YouTube channel. It's a really great episode. This coming Friday, there's going to be another Alley Fights TV taping. 662 Co Avenue, East Haven, Connecticut. There's a lot of really great action on it. You can check out the link in the description and go check out the new episode. All the information is there. You're going to really enjoy the show.
Absolutely. Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling returning back to the scene. A little hiatus here and there, but Alley Fights been keeping it up. And then we got a big event April 30th, PAPW Point Blank. A few matches have been announced already, which is the main event. Matthias defending the PAPW Championship against Buzz Bloodsaw. Got names all mixed up. Lucas Chase the Cure and Chris Battle. So stay tuned. Tickets on sale now at ParadiseAlleyProWrestling.com. And stay tuned for more PAPW content on PWZ.
Let's not forget RJ Rude makes his singles debut at the Point Blank, returning with no tag team partner. His tag team partner, Zane Bernardo, recently retiring from the world of professional wrestling. Excuse me, got a little tongue tied there. At such a young age.
Yeah, maybe there's better opportunity somewhere else. I respect it. It's never too late to retire from the professional wrestling world. Longevity on the body, but I respect it. And RJ Rude's still kicking it, and he's back home at Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling where he started, and former PAPW Intercontinental Champion, by the way. So looking forward to it. Got a lot of history with my guy over here, RJ Rude, and looking forward to it.
One thing I do want to mention, you mentioned it a second ago, the main event, that four-way match, Lucas Chase and Chris Battle in the main event. Lucas Chase is also the Anytime Any Gold winner. So anything can happen after that match or during the match. That's what I'm really looking forward to see what happens there.
Nah, absolutely. He got not only an opportunity at the PAPW Championship, but he got a reserve just in case it doesn't work out, Or he could win the PAPW Championship and cash that contract on someone else to grab some more gold. So Lucas Chase is on a winning streak as well. So I'm looking forward to all the stories that's going on in Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling.
Absolutely. Super Card of Honor. What did you think?
It was a big event. Two of the biggest news that came out of it was Samoa Joe making his return to ROH after the main event. But what caught my eye was this FTR versus the Briscoes. This was a real tag team classic. And this has been a week of FTR, which we'll reach that later on with Dynamite review. But FTR proving that they put in the work to be the best tag team in the world right now.
Absolutely one of the best matches I've seen in a very long time. The Briscoes, obviously one of the best tag teams going in the last, 18 years, 20 years probably. Mm-hmm. And those guys are just continuously putting on great match after great match. And then once they get in there with FTR, man, that match was killer. A total banger. Yeah.
The match has been it's been anticipated for a while. The back and forth on social media, and then with the recent buy-in from Tony Khan buying ROH, the match was legit going to happen, and it was a big match. I enjoyed it. It was a classic.
There was no surprise really that Samoa Joe was going to show up in Ring of Honor. Let's be serious.
No, it wasn't no surprise.
But I'm extremely happy that it happened. I popped, I'm telling you, because just Samoa Joe is he's an amazing athlete, and a guy that size. I've been a fan of his for a very long time, and now he's under that contract of All Elite Wrestling, so he gets to go, from Ring of Honor to AEW, and God knows what can happen. He can have like just great match after great match, and he's showing that now. And we're going to talk about it a little bit later with when we get into Rampage and Dynamite, that he wasn't like he was having good matches in WWE, but some of that story and some of that stuff that was going on didn't necessarily match stuff that should be going on with Samoa Joe, and he wasn't being put in the best situations to have fantastic matches.
No, absolutely. The only thing I remember WWE doing right was him versus Brock Lesnar. That was the only one I seen that was legit done right and done well. But just Samoa Joe is back out there, not only in the Indies but in Dynamite on the AEW, and he is a hot topic right now. He's relieved.
Yeah. I pegged him for a future WWE champion at one point for it to be him and Brock. Obviously, we never saw it. Did we see him on the main roster kicking ass and taking main roster titles? Sure. But he never got that gold. I would have loved to have seen, say, him and Brock main event Mania or something to that effect.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to do the rundown of matches. All right. Let's see. We had Swerve and Alex Zane. Swerve defeated Alex Zane. I thought this was pretty. Wasn't a very long match. It was pretty short, but I thought for that time period they put on a pretty decent match.
Yeah, they did. Swerve is really getting hot right now, fresh off the release of WWE. And Swerve, I look for good things in the future for him.
Tully Blanchard came out to announce his new client in Brian Cage. I love this. I thought that it was great because I'm glad to see Brian Cage on TV. If he's not going to be on TV with AEW, maybe he'll be on TV under the Ring of Honor guys. Even though it's owned by Tony Khan, they'll be using him somewhere because he's an amazing athlete. And he defeated Ninja Mac. I'm glad to see that they're putting, Tully Blanchard with Brian Cage. I love Tully, but Brian Cage, I really dig that guy, man. He's a great wrestler.
Yeah, FTR relieved Tully Blanchard of his duties, and he ended up in ROH to grab Brian Cage. Brian Cage been off TV for AEW for a minute, and Brian Cage is one of a kind athlete that probably back in the 80s or 90s he would have been great. This dude is athletic. He has the body. Can he talk? No, but there's always room for a manager of Tully Blanchard status, and I'm looking forward to the future of ROH with Brian Cage.
Jay Lethal defeated Lee Moriarty.
This was a good match.
Very good match. I think Lee Moriarty's great, man. I didn't really know too much about him until probably, maybe the last year or so. I've seen him in MLW and AEW. I'm really starting to enjoy his work. I really am.
Yeah, Lee, I mean, I didn't know nothing about him either. I heard about him in the Indies as well, but I have seen his work on AEW. I mean, he could mat wrestle. He could do athletics off the top. This guy is off the chain. So him and Jay Lethal, they matched with each other, and this was an awesome match.
Mercedes Martinez defeated Willow Nightingale to become the interim ROH Women's Champion. This is another great match. I really honestly thought they were going to go with Willow here, but they ended up going with Mercedes.
Yeah, we're going to have Mercedes versus Deanna in the future. Mercedes ended up being an interim ROH Women's Champion. Now we got her versus Purrazzo. But Willow Nightingale, she's putting in the work in the Indies, and she's showing that she can hang with the women. And I'm going to talk about that later on with the Red Velvet match that she had on Rampage. She outshined Red Velvet last Friday. So she's starting to show her talents, and the fire that she does in her comebacks is great.
We already talked about FTR and the Briscoes, but the ROH World Television Championship. Minoru Suzuki defeated Rhett Titus. Yeah. This was a good match. I love Suzuki. I love Rhett Titus as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Our ROH legend as well, you know.
absolutely. Yeah. Former guest on PWZ, Rhett Titus. I had a chance to interview him probably about a year and a half ago. Great dude, very nice. Yeah,
Cool dude.
yeah. ROH Pure Championship. Wheeler Yuta, excuse me, defeated Josh Woods. I'm having all sorts of, you know.
I don't
Josh
mess up his name either, too. I've been practicing his name all day. Willie Yuta. Everybody knows his name now after last Friday.
Well,
we'll talk about that soon. But
we're gonna get that. We're definitely gonna get into that. But I love Josh Woods and Wheeler Yuta. I thought he was a really good wrestler. Before, after this past week, I'm gonna tell you something. He's gonna become the biggest star, but we're gonna get into that a little bit later in the episode. He's gonna be a major player in this game. Title unification for the ROH original World Championship and ROH Championship. Jonathan Gresham defeated Bandito to become the unified ROH World Champion. Post-match, Jay Lethal came out and issued a challenge to Gresham for a future event. Both men back and forth until Sanjay Dutt made his way out to separate them, only to turn on Gresham and beat him down along with Lethal. And then out came Samoa Joe.
Yeah, Samoa Joe came out, did the rescue, changed the landscape of AEW. Because AEW, you know, we got CM Punk, we got Bryan Danielson, we got Kenny Omega, we got all these stars under one roof now. So I'm looking forward to it, man. And ROH, I mean, it's going to be I keep hearing stories here and there, whether it's going to be developmental for AEW. But hopefully it will be. I mean, hopefully he has some cameos from Samoa Joe, some cameos from upcoming stars that may get signed that may not have no room on the AEW roster. So I'm looking forward to it.
I'd like to know what they're going to do about their television situation, whether they're going to add it as a YouTube series or if they're going to put it on a cable deal such as TBS or TNT or what have you. Or if they're going to put just a show on Fight or YouTube. Did I say, it's an interesting thing to think about because, you know, they only held one show so far. So I have yet to hear anything about that.
This show, Supercard of Honor, ended up happening because it was already scheduled before the close down.
Right.
So, you know, Tony kind of had no choice but to run it, especially sold tickets because tickets was sold. I think they only sold like 200 tickets when it was announced. And then soon as he brought ROH, it jumped up 2,000 tickets. So,
wow.
I mean, it just, you know, the noise is out there. The brand is starting to lit up again. Will it ever lit up to the time it reached the Madison Square Garden? Maybe, maybe not, because it had a few stars on there that was anticipated being on the card, which ended up not re-signing. But it just, so you know, soon we will tell what's going to happen with ROH.
We will see. You never know. I mean, will they get to the Madison Square Garden level? You know, that was like the last chance of greatness for them. If you see that,
absolutely.
It was really downhill for them for the next like 2 to 3 years right after that. And it's WWE cherry picked every star that they had after that show.
Yeah, WWE and AEW. They raped them dry of all their talent.
Absolutely did. Absolutely
even New
did.
Japan, same deal.
Yep. So it's going to be interesting to see. I'm really looking forward to seeing anything that happens with Ring of Honor going forward. Now, I heard on Wrestling Observer Radio that they did over 20,000 pay-per-view buys.
Yes, they did. 20,000.
It's pretty amazing for a supposed dead company, wouldn't you say?
With the buzz, it helped out. You know, it was
absolutely
a change of the cards, the FTR versus the Briscoes, and the unification match. It just it put the buzz out there to make people think, oh, let me buy this product, let's check it out and see what's going on, and it worked.
And every single title changed hands. All the old Ring of Honor guys lost their titles. Yeah, that's interesting too.
That is interesting.
To pretty much all Elite Wrestling contracted talent.
Yeah. That's the politics of the business.
But things are working out for guys like Rhett Titus, who's getting work in the NWA right now, and he has a promising career there. And he's working the Indies. I've seen him in Beyond, returning there, and such. So it's not entirely crazy. You know what I mean?
It's not.
Yeah. Let's see. Stand and Deliver. NXT 2.0 Stand and Deliver. We got
I didn't get a chance to watch 2.0, but you could go over and see what your opinion was for Stand and Deliver.
All right. So I'll get into this. I'm not going to, dive deep into detail, but I will give the results and give my opinion.
Yeah.
Ever since they changed from the black and gold brand to the 2.0, I've been very judgmental about it. The first episode, I've watched the first 3 episodes of the series, and I said, after the third episode, I've given up.
Yeah.
So WrestleMania weekend, obviously, I was incredibly busy with stuff, and then everybody's raving about this Stand and Deliver show, so I finally got a chance and sat down and watched it. And it was an amazing show. Absolutely. Yeah. Was it takeover level? Probably close, but it was a really, really, really freaking good show. And it made me sit down and actually watch NXT 2.0 on Tuesday in its entirety.
God bless you.
I know.
You know what? I do too. I watch it. I still watch it. It's a habit. But I know where you're going to segue to. You're going to segue to the Gunther and Braun Breaker match for the NXT Championship, aren't you?
Yeah, I am going to, which I thought was a phenomenal match.
It was a good match.
I absolutely love that match. And the entire show, for the most part, on Tuesday, with the exception of a few things here and there, it wasn't nearly as ridiculous as I thought it could have been, or that the history that 2.0 has had in the past.
It
seems like they put a lot of work and love into Stand and Deliver and the 2.0 show on Tuesday. They actually cared about it. Braun Breaker, he showed up on Raw on Monday. Excuse me, we didn't get into that. We got to get in. He came into, first off, he lost the match against Dolph on Saturday afternoon. The show was held during the day. They ended up having a rematch on Monday when Braun Breaker won on Monday Night Raw. And then he came out and they wrestled again. Oh, no, he defended the title against Gunther Walter. I can't get used to calling him Gunther. I'm sorry. I've been calling him Walter.
Gunther or Gunther?
I mean, it's pretty much the same thing,
I call him
right?
Gunther.
Yeah. I mean, we can just call him Walter, right? Or Walter.
We can call him Walter or Walter.
Yeah, he defended the whole entire situation too, saying, there's just basically there's some things need to change sometimes, and basically as long as he's getting a paycheck, he doesn't give a fuck.
There we go. So, that's the bit. That's how you take it. There we go.
Yeah, that's basically what he alluded to without saying it. But him and Braun Breaker, I thought, put on a phenomenal match, and of course, Gunther got called up on Friday night for SmackDown.
Yeah.
What did you think of this? Him and Barthel. Yeah, him and Barthel got called up, and they changed Barthel's name. Can't recall it right now, but I thought it was good. He really murdered that kid on Friday night.
Who else he doesn't murder? Every time I see him,
that's true too.
I feel like his nightmare for his opponent. Braun Breaker.
It was a local preliminary guy.
Yeah,
right.
but it's just he got him through the whole match. He destroyed him about most of the match, which I was kind of worried about Braun Breaker. But Braun Breaker caught up. He hung on. He hung in there with Gunther. But
right.
Friday Night SmackDown was a good addition for Gunther, and the other guy. What's the other guy name? I'm sorry.
He was known as Barthel prior, in NXT, but when they called him up on Friday, they changed his name. I don't remember it offhand.
I don't understand why you changed his name from NXT to your own brand. I don't get that.
Why did they change Walter's name to Gunther?
For no reason.
Okay. The guy is well known throughout the world. Every wrestling company he's wrestled for, including NXT and NXT UK, their brand, for a number of years under his own name, and was very successful as the UK champion. And it doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. I have not seen him slow down in the slightest.
No,
Just
he hasn't.
a month
And
a
he
month
looks
ago,
in
he
shape.
had.
He's in the best shape of his life.
Dude, he's dropped so much weight. Did you
Yes,
see
he
it? Like
did.
he's more toned.
Yeah,
It's
I looked at the one of the interviews that he did, and he was talking about just eat less, he eating better, he taking better attention to nutrition. So that's why that results in the way he look right now.
wow. That's amazing. It really is, because his chops still scare the shit out of me either way.
Absolutely.
So, I cringe every time I see him chop somebody. Just that month ago, a month ago, he had a fantastic match with Roderick Strong too.
Yes, he did.
So the guy hasn't slowed down. And one thing is, now somebody said to me today that this style might clash. I want to see it. I want to see him against Roman.
It's gonna go. It may not come. It may not come to the time that we need it to come, or be a match that we think is going to be like the match that we want. But yeah, it's going to come. They are clash.
I want to see it. Somebody disagreed, said that they think their styles would not work well together. I think Walter's one of those guys that can have a good match, no matter what.
Yeah,
you know what
with
I mean.
Anybody,
he's just going to go out there and do those chops, and Roman's got to do his 5 or 6 moves. You know what I mean? So, no offense, but right now he's one of the top guys. But I think it could be a damn good match. I'd love to see, now that he's on SmackDown, I'd love to see Walter, Gunther, whatever the hell his name is, headline a pay-per-view against Roman.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to that. Great addition to SmackDown.
Absolutely. I think it'll be very... Yeah. 2.0. Stand and Deliver. MSK won the NXT Tag Team Championships. Tuesday, they wrestle again. Nash Carter's released due to, it's not, he's released after his wife tweeted many things stating that he laid his hands on her, showed pictures of a split lip, etc., etc. Come to find out, it's not the reason he was released, and he was released because he took a picture and it got posted of him dressed up as Hitler doing the Nazi salute. Now, according to Meltzer, he and his wife, Kimberly, and Impact Wrestling's Kimberly, had been separated, and he was currently staying at Wes Lee's house with him and his wife. So that rumor is that she was embellishing and making the story up, or alluding to the fact that.
Yeah.
So, I'm just sitting here saying what I've heard. And that he actually he actually got her served divorce papers, and they were separated, and he was not staying with her at the time that she claimed that had happened.
The stories there on both is a he say, she say stuff,
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate on both sides.
Absolutely.
Relationship is hard to break off, whether it's a violent situation or a mutual agreement. It's just unfortunate. This dude just won a tag team titles off of Stand and Deliver. He just did a promo last Tuesday where they're going to defend the tag titles, and now all of a sudden he's released. And it's unfortunate for his partner as well.
It's definitely it's unfortunate for Wesley. However, I do not support him dressing up as Hitler. And
no, and that was the cause of him getting released. It wasn't the cause of the allegations. Let's get this correct.
Correct.
It wasn't because of the allegations. There's been other allegations on other people like Matt Riddle, and they didn't release him. They didn't release him because
there wasn't enough.
That.
Right, there wasn't enough facts.
Yeah,
right, there was, towards Riddle. There's not enough facts, and obviously it goes into, there's different levels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's they might know that he's not staying with her, that he's staying with Wesley, or whatever. But either way, it's an allegation. So there was no proof. Obviously, they're going to investigate it, or they would have investigated it, but they saw that picture does not fit in with the standards and practices of WWE. NBC is not going to approve of it, so that's why they decided to let him go. I don't think stuff like that's funny. It's not very modern of him.
Nah.
So, anyways, I'm not sure where he's going to end up. I'm not sure what's going to happen with her. I'm not going to sure. The one that I feel bad, the worst for, is Wesley.
Yes.
Whether he's going to stay there, I don't really picture him being.
I don't picture him using him the way they're supposed to.
Exactly. And if that doesn't happen, I can see him eventually ending up back in Impact and possibly reforming the Rascals with Trey Miguel.
I'd see that happening.
Yeah. AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday. It was a good show.
It was a good show with a monster open and a monster ending.
They're really doing this like pay-per-view quality television show, 2-hour show each week.
Yeah, they are. They got a lot of talent, man. There's so many talent that's out there that's on that roster right now. They can pull that off. It's starting to bring us back to the Nitro days where every match was kind of a main event. And I was just now we got Christian. We had Christian
Cage and Adam Cole. Yep.
Yeah, versus against Adam Cole, man. I didn't want to call him Christian and get sued. That's why I had to think about it for a minute. That's why I paused for a minute. Like I didn't want to get those cease and desist. But Christian Cage versus Adam Cole, the opener, it was real good. Great 15-minute match. We already know how Christian Cage he could work, and Adam Cole, we already know what it is. That match was a real good opener. I enjoyed it.
Christian Cage is, still, I mean, as much as he is loved in professional wrestling, one of those guys that's still terribly underrated. Still,
yes, he is.
No matter how much love he gets, But the one part I really thought was pretty cool, that he jumped the entire fucking ring post off the rope, like into the corner, and I was like, damn, dude, like he's really going for that 20-something-year-old moves. He's probably what, 48, 49, something like that. Yeah. He's close to 50. He's closer to 50, I think. So, that dude is going for moves that he probably shouldn't. He really is, though. He really is. I mean, he's not as injury prone as his former tag team partner.
We already know your heat with Edge. We get it.
I just said former tag team. I didn't say his name.
Come on, that's funny.
You're trying to put heat on me now.
Hey, I want no heat, brother. Not over here. I want no angry tweets.
On top of that, the Owen Hart Foundation Tournament qualifiers. Samoa Joe defeated Max Caster. Max Caster's rap was, as the kids say, fire. It was fire. It was hilarious. And the fact that
he paid for it, though.
He really did. And he basically got raped. Like Max Caster did not get much in if you look at the whole match. And Samoa Joe, that little dance he did in the middle of the match, that was fucking hilarious. Yeah.
That mean he be clubbing.
Good match overall.
That match was good. I enjoyed it. Samoa Joe is continuously showing the fountain of youth here. I can't wait to see the match that everybody probably want to see. I want to see whether it's gonna work out or not. Samoa Joe versus CM Punk. I want to see that.
It's been a while since we've seen something like that, huh? Those two wrestlers.
It's been a while, and there's major heat there.
Absolutely.
Personally, I don't know what is happening now because times and they moved on, but I kind of feeling that match will be great and stiff.
Yes. Well, I mean, Samoa Joe works stiff, period. So After the match, Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt interrupted from backstage. Lethal said they changed their outlook. Lethal said he tried to call Joe for months, but Joe would not answer. Apparently, Joe only answers for billionaires.
Mm.
Lethal said that next week they'd get Joe a massive present. And what do you think this is? This massive present?
I don't even know. I mean, you never know what's going on with TV now, but they even call him a gold digger. Call him Samoan gold digger. So
Wow.
the words are out there. You know, major history between Jay Lethal. I'm looking forward to Jay Lethal versus Samoa Joe. It's gonna be a real good match.
Yeah, Jay Lethal is a phenomenal athlete. I just remember when he was just a Northeast indie guy.
Yes,
Okay.
he was.
And he would do many, many appearances before he became anything in Connecticut, little indies, I always thought the guy was great. And then look where he is now. It's amazing.
Exactly.
It's amazing. Let's see. The Blackpool Combat Club. I keep trying to get this name right, and I keep messing it up, getting it off by a word or two. They were backstage. Bryan Danielson will face Trent Beretta and Jon Moxley on. Oh wait, will face Wheeler Yuta on Rampage. Yeah. Moxley said it would sound like bones cracking, like thunder and raining blood. Okay. And Sean Dean defeated Sean Spears.
Yeah, this segment was great, man. Little cameos from Ways and Girls.
Yes.
You know, just Wardlow continued to build. You know, to build to the big, massive match between him and MJF. And these segments right here, I'm enjoying. It's building Wardlow real good. The chants are there. The fans are behind him. Soon as he powerbomb MJF, it's going to be gold.
Each week they have Wardlow coming out and murdering security.
Mm-hmm.
When is it going to happen? When? It's something I'm really interested in seeing. It took well over a year for them to finally break the two up, right?
Yeah, they teased a lot of seeds. I mean, MJF kept continuously insult him every probably quarter of the year. Her just insulting him or smacking him or whatever it is, just to lay the groundwork. But now, once that powerbomb happens, it's going to be erupt.
Mm-hmm. See, Kingston and company come out to the ring with microphones. Kingston said it was on site on Jericho's crew from now on. Santana and the Jericho Appreciation Society. Sorry, I abbreviated. Better bring the fight, and Ortiz challenged them to a 6-man tag next week. Kingston said they beat them. I hate to say this, Butch Reed and Junkyard Dog style. Going down to Mid-South reference that no youngster's going to get.
Nobody but probably me and you.
Yes. Eddie Kingston's still one of the top promo guys in the business. This dude, honestly, he's amazing when he goes out there with a microphone. That's all he needs to do. Just go out there with a microphone. I'll buy a ticket.
That's it. Don't even take bumps. Just talking mic.
The Hardys defeated the Butcher and the Blade in a tables match, which was just an overly confusing mess. These dudes were eliminated.
People trash on this stipulation. Before you continue with that, people trash on this stipulation, but let me rewind that back because I haven't heard any podcaster even say this one time. Do anybody remember Royal Rumble 2000 when it was the Hardys versus the Dudleys? That was an elimination tables match.
And were everybody still involved in the match?
And everybody was still involved in the match. So I don't understand why. I don't understand what the fuss is because WWE did it at the Royal Rumble 2000. It was each person, but the thing is, I get what certain podcasters say that the ending didn't make no sense because Jeff Hardy already got eliminated, so he wouldn't be able to do the Swanton Bomb on the guy that didn't go through the table. Now that didn't make no sense. I agree with that. That didn't make no sense. Now there is no DQ. If the person get eliminated, it's just basically trying to make the match be like longer, truthfully. So I mean, the match didn't work out. I seen the match; it was not good. But I
the shits, say it.
It was the shits. Yes, it did not click.
I'm kind of getting more and more impressed with the Butcher and the Blade.
Are you? I mean,
Give your opinion. I want to hear you with. I mean, I thought they were kind of ridiculous at
they're
first. I mean,
solid.
they're still ridiculous, but they've been there a long time now in
Yes.
AEW. Don't you think they should be getting a bigger push? Because I mean, they come out there. Look at some of the tag teams they have outside of obviously the FTR. Put them in there with the Young Bucks and have them decimate the Young Bucks. These are two dudes that don't care. If they go out there and demolish them, say like Demolition or the LOD, they look like two dudes that could do something like this. You get what I'm saying? Like they wouldn't give a fuck.
They would, but you know what? There's a whole roster of great tag teams out there. They're stuck in the middle. And that's same that goes with Private Party. You know, at first you only had a Young Bucks and a few other teams. Now you got all these teams like FTR. You got Red Dragon. You got all these guys that's here. Jungle Boy, Jurassic Express with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. It's just the team. And now you got a Hardys.
Yes.
It's just like it's starting to rack up. And do they deserve a chance? Yes, they do. I fully agree with that. But the thing is, they're a solid tag team. I enjoy their work as well. And, you know, the Butcher is in a great shape. He's got him slimmed down, hit the weights.
Did you see his abs?
Yeah.
Compared to a year ago?
Yeah, he got
I was
abs.
like, holy shit. It's that mustache that scares the shit out of me.
Listen, it's not hard to get abs.
No. Well, what are you talking about? Can't lay off the cheeseburgers. The Owen Hart Foundation tournament qualifier Hikaru Shida defeated Julia Hart.
This match didn't mix either with
it
me.
Didn't click. Yeah. I think what I think is like I really like Hikaru Shida. I don't really care about Julia Hart.
Nothing against Julia Hart, but
nothing against her.
Yeah,
nothing's got me invested in her since her arrival in AEW.
I know a lot of people do have a problem with the Owen Hart Foundation tournament qualifying matches, but you gotta understand there's certain people that's in the slot that's already qualified. These matches are made so we could probably get the remaining 4 that could get qualified. That may be in question in a notebook pad, saying, "Well, should we pick this person or should we not?" You know, so we have a qualifying match? Yes, we do. But I like the qualifying matches because you maybe you may not want to put Samoa Joe in there. Maybe you want to put Max Caster in there because he put in hard work somewhere else. So I enjoy the qualifying matches. It makes it more important when they get to the main tournament.
Right. Of course, we had this main event. Really didn't mean much.
It really did. No.
This was probably one of the best matches I've seen on television in a very long time. FTR. This was the ROH Tag Team Championship and both the AAA Championship, Tag Team Championship, up for grabs. As Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler defeated the Young Bucks. And I'm not a huge Young Bucks fan by any means. I'm not a fan of theirs, but this was a freaking phenomenal match. I absolutely loved this match.
Nah, absolutely. It just, I was close to calling you Jim Cornette. I understand you don't like the Hardly boys. That's what you call them. But
I'd like to call them the Young Cucks.
Yeah, but when it gets to brass tacks, when it's time for them to perform, they know how to perform. So I enjoyed this match. This is the rematch. This is part 2, and I enjoyed this. It was different role reversal. You had FTR now as the baby faces, and you had the Young Bucks as the heels. And I enjoyed it, man. It was a real good main event. It was storytelling. It was moves that was put in the right spots, and FTR came out on top. It was a good match. I'm looking forward to part 3, or even with the Briscoes being involved, because we've seen at the ending of Supercard Honor of that match, they gave the super kicks to the Briscoes. So hopefully we see a triple team match or whatever. Listen, I'm down. I'm down. Tag team wrestling is lit right now.
I'm not the world's biggest Young Bucks fan by any means.
I love it.
You like them? Honestly, like, are they up there as like a?
I feel like certain times they too much, but when it gets down to putting in the work, they know how to do it.
Okay, I'll go with that. All right. I'm not saying that I hate, like, I just, some of the stuff is like well overdone. You know what I'm saying? The match they had with Ray Phoenix and his, Penta.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a great match. I like Penta and Phoenix, and in that match, I thought that they delivered on. I thought they're just too gimmicky, I guess, for me at times.
Yeah, Vince will love them.
I am sure, but he's not going to have them. Not with the what he's throwing out there. Yeah, and they're making too much money on their own. They were making money on their own prior to being part of all AEW. You know what I mean?
Was.
And it was an amazing time for independent wrestling when they were doing that, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people weren't able to do that, but there was certain guys that were out there just working indies, like guys like the Young Bucks, that they were able to draw and make money just selling merchandise and working independent shows. Them, Kenny Omega was one, and it was kind of an amazing time.
Yeah, it was. This tag match was off the chain, my guy.
Great match. Absolutely. There was a couple times when it was like really close that I was like, oh my God, and it's pretty amazing when that happens. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't
get you invested.
Exactly. And that doesn't happen like a lot with me as a fan that's been watching for as long, like close to 40 years.
Yeah.
That you don't I guess get that intense with certain things, but all right, so that's what we have for the Dynamite. You have the Rampage notes, correct?
Yeah, Rampage, man. The Rampage was off the chain last Friday. I enjoyed every bit of it. We had to open a match with Trent Beretta versus Bryan Danielson. That match was real good. I enjoyed every bit of it.
There was a Saito suplex on the concrete, which I thought was really insane. And then I really felt for Danielson at that point, knowing that he had the neck injuries that he's had in the past.
Nah, absolutely. It's like a fountain of youth with this guy. I don't know what he's done, but his work is just continuously to build up, and I knew this match was going to be good anyway. Trent Beretta, he put in great work anyway with other stars that I've seen earlier on in AEW in the beginning years, but this opening match was real good.
A DDP yoga. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
I need to do DDP. I need to do DDP yoga.
I do. Yeah, I hear you. There's a really great documentary out there about DDP yoga, by the way. That's on Prime. You can watch it for free. I don't know if you have Amazon Prime.
Yes, I do.
It's really good.
Amazon Prime is real good. I enjoy it.
They have a really good. Yeah, they have a. I mean, it's not like they have a really good movies and TV shows that are on there, but they have a really good wrestling section.
Yes, they do.
You can watch a lot of old Memphis on there for free.
Nice.
And it's.
I love the Memphis wrestling. What I've seen.
Yeah, I love it. So I kind of like freaked out when I got to see that. And then there's some really good documentaries on there as well. Have you ever seen that show Sneaky Pete? Not wrestling related at all. It's on Amazon.
I watched it.
Dude, it's great. I love it. I think it's funny. I don't know if it's just some.
It's called Sneaky Pete.
Sneaky Pete. Yeah, it's about this guy that gets out of prison, and he uses his cellmate's name and stuff like that, and seeing that the guy's family hadn't seen him for a number of years, he pretends he's him and moves in with the family and all this shit, and he's like hiding from these guys, and there's all this stuff going on. It's really funny. It's very clever. It really is.
It is clever.
It's funny. So anyways, let's get back to Rampage.
Back to Rampage, we had Scorpio Sky come out and do a promo with Dan Lambert and Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti. I mean, there's heat there with these two. We already know the history because they're together, and basically, I guess the crowd don't like them because, Sammy Guevara proposed to his girlfriend on TV a few months ago. So, and now he's with Ty Conti. So, he's an automatic heel to the fans. I see it. But I think in Battle of the Belts, too, they will have Scorpio Sky versus Sammy Guevara. It's going to be a very hectic match with the crowd. I can see it happening.
Let me ask you this. Do you think Dan Lambert has overstayed his welcome?
I think him wearing that belt overstayed his welcome.
I love that. I thought it was hilarious.
Do you? It's funny.
I think Dan Lambert, as annoyed people are with Dan Lambert, I think he's hilarious. And I think it's even more hilarious when people are upset and annoyed with him.
Yes, exactly. I mean, he's doing his job.
Exactly. But I mean, I think he's very funny. And some of the lines he comes up with, they might not be politically correct or whatnot, but he's hilarious.
Nah, I enjoy Dan Lambert and all his antics. But we got Swerve Scott versus QT Marshall. Swerve Strickland, Shane Strickland. He used to be Swerve Scott. I'm gonna get sued here tonight. Just to let you know, I'm getting sued.
I'm sorry, Vince is gonna be on your ass.
Vince got my picture on the wall. Vince got my picture on the wall.
Swerve
Scott. All of it. I'm done. I haven't said Daniel Bryan. You got me.
You haven't said that in probably 2 months, but
it took me a while. I got it, but you're in
that WWE bubble.
I am. I try. Swerve Strickland continue to build, and they build between the Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee versus Ricky Starks and Hobbs. So that story build, but we had the Owen Hart Foundation qualifying match, Willow Nightingale versus Red Velvet. You know what? I really enjoyed this match because Red Velvet, she embraced the hate of her beating Willow Nightingale, and Willow Nightingale continued to show her work and show the fire that I love. And she's gonna be a future of anybody that wants to sign her. She's gonna be real good.
She's not officially signed to AEW?
No, she's not.
Interesting. They use her
an
awful lot.
Yeah, well, they used Wheeler Yuta for a while, and they just signed him on WrestleMania.
I heard the reason why he signed to AEW. What was it that I heard that was it New Japan wanted them to sign him? So that he wouldn't sign with WWE.
That's crazy.
It is. But speaking of Wheeler Yuta, we're going to get into that.
Wait, who's working?
I said, speaking of Wheeler Yuta,
I thought you said was I working? See, I'm hearing things. I'm hearing things today. Speaking of Wheeler Yuta, just like Rick Del Santo said, Wheeler Yuta versus Jon Moxley, the main event for Rampage. This match, talk about it, Rick.
Jon Moxley made Wheeler Yuta a fucking star on Friday night.
Yes, he did.
I'm telling you, I was in awe the entire match. And now I've been watching Wheeler for a couple years now. Mm-hmm. Moxley, obviously, I've seen for many years now. I've been fans of both guys, but the fact that these two went in there and Moxley was not selfish at all, and he gave everything to Wheeler Yuta, and if Wheeler Yuta got over in that match, I mean over. Mm-hmm. The crowd was 100% behind him, and he is now, his star in professional wrestling is now solidified.
I fully agree. It was like a Bret Hart, Steve Austin moment at WrestleMania 13.
Absolutely.
I mean, he built him into a star on this episode of Rampage, and I enjoyed every bit of it. He was already being built a little bit, but this is the match right here that built him into being a star. Tony Khan, he sat there and put it out there and said this match was great on Rampage, and I made sure I tuned in to watch this match. I've been watching Rampage for a hot minute, for a while since it started. Some I missed, some I don't, but this one I had to tune in and see, and this match was real good. I was real invested. Wheeler Yuta is the future of AEW, and I can't wait to see it. Even earning the handshake from William Regal.
He looked like he was trying to snub him at first with that snarl that he had.
Yeah, he did.
He might there now. There's
It like he was ready for action.
yeah. I'd love to see a 60-year-old William Regal get out there. Now the rumor is now that Will Yuta might join the Blackpool Combat Club. Sorry, I got it right. I think I did at least.
I'm
What
down.
do you think of that? You're down. I think that might be interesting, right?
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Especially the fire that he showed last Friday. I'm down.
Absolutely. Holy shit. What else do you got today? Anything else?
Nothing much. What did you think about Cody Rhodes promo on Monday Night Raw?
I thought it was interesting. There's always
He laid the groundwork for.
he did for
Yeah, he laid the
himself.
groundwork.
Obviously, there's going to be in that new the new season of the A&E biographies. Going to be, he mentioned the one about Dusty.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be looking forward to seeing that. And Cody, excuse me, is the executive producer. It was an unscripted promo from what I read, that they allowed him to just go out there and speak his mind.
That's a good thing. I mean, Cody Rhodes already know how to talk.
Yep.
I just like the fact that now, instead of us figuring out who is going to dethrone Roman Reigns for the championship, I kind of see him doing it. I don't see nobody else doing it. Nobody. I hate to be that guy, but like, there's nobody else I see but him.
It's gonna be Gunther.
Yeah, it may be Gunther. But
no, seriously, Cody Rhodes. I mean, I think I'm convinced after, we've spent months on this podcast, me and you talking about who's going to dethrone him. The only answer we had was obviously Brock, because that's the only guy they had for a year, maybe. Not even really, because Brock hasn't been back that long. But that was the only name you and I could come up with. And then obviously once Cody Rhodes became a free agent and the rumor started circulating that he was joining WWE, that's obviously the name that popped up. What kind of match is that going to be? It's going to be very interesting to see.
Be very interesting. I'm going to be invested in it because I do want him to win.
Yeah.
I want him to be that Rose to actually do it in the WWE. You could always do Roman versus Rock without the championship.
True.
But truthfully, Cody could beat him and he could still face The Rock.
Yes.
It just don't have to be for a championship. It even makes it even better because if going in, you already gonna know that The Rock isn't gonna win. But with the title down the line, you don't know who's gonna win. So basically, I look forward to seeing the Cody. I see them doing that at SummerSlam. I don't see them reaching that long to WrestleMania. I think SummerSlam will be it to do it. Or do it by Survivor Series. At least you have that little time span between Survivor Series and WrestleMania. But I see him dethroning Roman Reigns.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm really interested in seeing. I guess he's going to be wrestling coming up soon too. I think on Raw Monday.
No, absolutely. He's going to be coming. It's going to be Cody Rhodes versus The Miz for the first time. Is it the first time? I don't think it's the first time. I think
that part I can't answer. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think that I think the time that they were both in the company, I was not paying much attention to, not just WWE, just wrestling in general.
Yeah. Well, we just gonna say a first time in a long time.
Yeah.
We'll keep it at that.
Yep. So if you don't have anything else, I'm all set here. Just check out your professional wrestling. Are we going live tomorrow? We're going live tomorrow after Raw, or tonight after Raw. Excuse me.
Yeah, we're going live tonight at the Raw, right at the Raw. So if anybody got some questions or want to get in the chat to talk to us about Raw, we are down. We will let you know what's going on down for the last 3 hours. We're going to survive the 3 hours. And
How much alcohol am I going to drink? I'm gonna go get some Stone Cold, the Broken Skull American Lager after work.
Yeah, well, while you do that, I'll get the Ciroc
All right.
vodka spirits right here.
We're both
that,
drinking vodka tonight.
That Diddy decided to be in his shower and promote. So I guess Diddy,
More power to you.
sponsor, please. But yeah, continue to share, like, expand the world to PWZ.